Hello everyone, I'm Wavery and welcome back to another video, and for today's video I will be explaining the Season 1 launch of Dragonflight and how to obtain high item level gear, and I mean high item level gear. But first I will also let you know that subscribing is so easy and shows your support to the channel, and with that said and done, please enjoy the rest of this video. So, I have already made a video explaining how to obtain gear through elemental storms in the open world of the Dragon Isles, but in case you have not seen that video, I will give a brief explanation of what these are. These storms occur all throughout the Dragon Isles on timers, and in the areas where the storm is occurring, the surrounding mobs become empowered with primal energy, making the once non-elite mobs into elite hard-hitting enemies. Now, these mobs can drop a currency called Elemental Overflow, which can be used to turn in at the NPC Mythic, located at the Sapphire Enclave in Valdrakken, for item level 359 pieces of gear, which is equivalent to heroic dungeon gear. But also at these storms, the mobs can drop a quest item, which is different depending on which type of storm it is. Now you can turn this quest item in at the NPC Rethelshi, located right next to Mythic in Valdrakken, in return for an item called a Storm Sigil. Now you can obtain 4 Storm Sigils a week, because you can obtain 1 Storm Sigil per each specific type of storm, meaning 1 Storm Sigil for turning in a Water Storm quest item, and a Fire one, a Wind one, and an Earth one. These Storm Sigils can be given to Rethelshi in return for item level 385 pieces of gear, which is equivalent to the last boss of the Raid Finder difficulty. But to purchase the 385 version of this gear, you also need the 359 item. So if you want to purchase a 385 cloak, you need 5 Storm Sigils and a 359 cloak purchased from Mythic for the Elemental Overflow currency. Next up on my ways to obtain good gear list is raiding. That's right, the first raid of Dragonflight is the Vault of the Incarnates. This raid consists of 8 bosses, which is Eranog, Tyros, the Primal Council, Senath the Cold Breath, Dathea Ascended, Kurog Grim Totem, Broodkeeper Diurna, and Razageth the Storm Eater. Now this raid in terms of gear works differently than raids in Shadowlands and other expansions. On normal difficulty, the first 4 bosses drop 389 item level gear, then the next 2 bosses drop 395 item level pieces of gear, and then the last 2 drop 398 item level pieces of gear, and this works all the way up to the last 2 bosses of Mythic Vault of the Incarnates, where it drops the max item level gear you can obtain, besides the rare item level 430 ring you can get, which is item level 424 pieces of gear. The item level of gear progresses upwards as you progress through the more difficult bosses, so the people that kill the middle bosses feel more rewarded than the people that just kill the first couple bosses. Moving onwards, we have Mythic Plus. Now, like raiding, the rewards you can obtain from Mythic Plus has changed compared to Shadowlands and older expansions. I also made a video talking about this, but I will still give an explanation. Completing a keystone, timed or not, will reward a chest at the end where you can obtain low, medium, or high item level gear determined by what level the key was. But also completing a key, regardless of time, unlocks a slot in your Great Vault. That's right, the Great Vault has been added for Dragonflight, and if we have a look at this chart, we can see what item level gear you can obtain through Mythic Plus End of Dungeon and the Great Vault. But what makes this different from older expansions is that in older expansions the gear stopped progressing at a plus 15 key, and that gave low mythic raid gear. But now in Dragonflight, a plus 15 key gives high heroic raid gear. So in a way that's worse than what we had before, and the rewards now progress all the way up to a plus 20, which now drops a mid-mythic raid gear. Or mythic plus gear, but it's on par with mid-mythic raid gear. And each dungeon you complete drops around 200 Valor, which is a currency that can be used to upgrade your Mythic Plus gear. So overall, you can obtain higher item level gear in Mythic Plus, but it's harder to obtain than other expansions and seasons. Now we have talked about open world, Mythic Plus, and raiding gearing in Season 1. So for the last method of gearing in Season 1, of course I can't forget about you PvPers out there. So for PvP gear, it actually increases in item level once you are in a PvP environment, like a battleground, arena, solo shuffle, or open world PvPing. So PvP gear has a PvE item level and a PvP item level, and you can upgrade the PvE item level with honor obtained from PvP situations. But the way to get better PvP item level gear is determined by the source of which you obtained the gear from. As we can see from this chart, the way to obtain the best PvP item level gear is through raided arenas, battlegrounds, and solo shuffle matches. And the worst PvP item level gear is obtained through crafted gear. And you can obtain these pieces of gear through war mode activities and currencies, honor, conquest, and blood tokens from world quests and crafting. Now that I have explained PvP, Raid, Mythic Plus, and open world content gearing method, it's time for me to say goodbye and good luck getting this gear. I do hope you enjoy Season 1 of Dragonflight. Go watch my reputation / renown guides in the description below. I am sure you will see my Keystone Master video soon enough. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you did, and I will see you in my next one.